I sat down to watch some videos on YouTube, and I saw someone using PVC pipe to make a cedar. Piquing my interest, I thought, I can do that. So I set out to see if I had any material on hand. I began sorting through boxes where I kept leftover parts from previous projects that I had done. Found what I needed. A pipe had burst from the freeze this winter, so I figured I'd just use it. All I had to do was cut it off. A few moments later, and I had the cedar assembled. Now, to plant some beans. Only problem, I had nowhere to plant the beans. No worries, I had a section of the garden that I could repurpose. Some of the corn stalks needed to go, so the pruning shears came out. So far so good. I decided just to weed eat the grass and the old beans that were already there, and just use this little section of the garden. There was some cardboard in the walkway, so I thought maybe I'll just use the ground where the cardboard was. There's no weeds there. Now to make some furrow for the seeds. Let's see if this cedar works. The handy extension let me space each seed precisely the same distance apart. That was very convenient. But man, is this slow. Back to the old way of planting seeds. Not one to give up too easily, there had to be a way to salvage this project and make it useful. A little duct tape and a pointy stick later, and I was ready to go. Noticing there were bare spots in the garden and around the plants, perhaps it would be useful where I didn't want to use a hoe. Maybe I'll keep the bean cedar after all. It's been a couple of days since I made my handy dandy cedar. But in all honesty, I think it was just a waste of time. The concept is good, and I guess if you have a bad back and you can't bend over, possibly this would help. If you've got more patience than I have, this would help. Now I just use these red kidney beans that me and my wife, we just store a bunch of dry beans in a bucket. But I decided to get a few of them. I planted these the last couple of years. They grow really well. And from my past experience, the rabbits really love them because they eat all of them that I plant. But this year, I think I got their number. The concept behind this handy dandy little cedar is basically you just got a pipe, you got an extension that goes over, you don't even need this side, but it goes over and it gives you a distance between each seed that you plant. You stick the seed in here and it drops onto the ground. That way you don't even have to bend over. Well, as you've seen in the video, I don't have that kind of patience. So what I did, I just basically took this out, whittled down a stick with the hatchet to make a little point. That way I could poke it into the ground. It kind of looks like a spear, don't it? Duct taped it on so it looked good, because that's what I'm all about, is looking good. I got some tape around this because all this pipe is split. When water freezes in a pipe and expands, it tends to split your pipe. You saw how I used it, and I guess it worked all right. But in all honesty, I could just go out in the yard and get me a stick, piece of rebarb or something, or anything with a point, and just go out there and jab holes in the ground if it's in a tight spot. I don't really need this. So in all honesty, it's just a waste of time. Nonetheless, I hope you enjoyed the video. I had fun making it, and it was interesting to see because it looked good on YouTube, but in practicality, it was basically useless. Appreciate y'all watching. God bless. We'll see y'all on the next one.